Evening.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
And well, welcome to the White Rabbit podcast with Karen Plowman.
I am.
Karen and I have been friends for 3 or so years, I think. Have we known each other?
I think we must have been. Yeah, it must be about that. Yeah.
Time. Karen has been in Hong Kong for 23 years. She's been a chemist.
Yes, I was a research chemist.
You've been, and latterly you've been a workout
fitness instructor.
Fitness instructor
for all the good that it did me.
and now a cancer patient, just for, why not throw it in?
Absolutely, throw the lot in.
If you could, you take your story where you want to start with it. At the beginning, it's great, whatever, and I will chuck in some questions whenever we look like we're going to be flagging or whatever.
Okay, well, I suppose reasons for coming to Hong Kong in the first place were hubby Sean got a job, as everybody does. Well, hopefully everybody does. And we basically came here, as most people do, for 6 months, turning around and saying that, no, we definitely don't want to be here any longer. We're only going to rent the house out. And
so you actually thought 6 months?
Seriously, no, because what it was a secondment that he had.
Right.
So he was working for a company called ERM, Environmental Resources Management.
Okay, right. Yes, I know these guys.
And he was seconded to China Light and Power. So he was their environmental officer. So we just thought, well, okay, we're going to, look at this and come out here. Of course, he, working as a secondment, ERM left him at the airport, which was Kai Tak at the time, told him to rush because basically the client needed him.
For them, straight from the plane?
Straight from the plane. And it was Chinese New Year.
Nice.
So he had no idea how to get to the hotel. When he got to the hotel, of course, everyone said to him, Hong Kong, oh my God, it's so hot here. You won't need a jacket, won't need a jumper.
What time of year did he arrive?
Chinese New Year.
Oh, that's right. You told me. That's exactly the mistake I made. Arrived January 2000 wearing my shorts and T-shirt.
Oh my God. I think that time ago, 23 or 24, whatever it was, years ago, it was one of the coldest Chinese New Years that they've had here. And the first thing he had to do was basically go out and get a jumper, a pullover and clothes. And he absolutely hated it. Hated it because ERM were based over in Tsim Sha Tsui.
Right.
So he was staying in a hotel that I actually think is no longer there. I think it's been knocked down. But anyway, yeah, it's a long time. So we started off there. I was at home locking, the house up and shipping everything over. And I arrived actually.
Where did you stay at that time? Where were you staying in the
Well,
UK?
what happened? He was here for 3 months before I arrived, and when I turned up, he'd got CLP accommodation.
Right.
Excuse me. Which basically was an apartment. There was a very nice apartment, but it was above a substation.
It happens.
Curly hair and all that.
Efficiency. Yes.
Oh, Lord. Yes, it was much to be desired. Right on the central tunnel.
Oh, right.
So you could look out of the balcony and literally wave to everybody going through. So not exactly, the...
It's not what you'd envisioned.
No, not really.
So how long were you there?
Actually, we were there for... God, I'll work this out.
Doesn't matter.
2 years? 2 years, I think.
Right, so
2 years.
It wasn't wife turned up and said this won't do.
No, because what we decided to do was to actually throw out most of the CLP furniture and furnish the place ourselves.
Right.
And of course, that makes your own home in the end, doesn't it? So we didn't actually get the old sofa, which friends loved to come round and sit on and watch the sawdust pour out the cushions. That was exciting. Sawdust cushions. They were lovely. They were lovely. The only good thing about it is you had really good quality air conditioning.
Right.
And a damn great American refrigerator.
Right.
Which at the time we're talking about weren't,
Wouldn't make a big difference at that point.
Oh my God, yeah. So that was nice. And of course, having the help as well. So I kind of got into the helper situation, so
Yes.
got my own.
As everybody does.
Yeah.
We all come out here. And,
But she was lovely. She was. It was funny because she came to work for me, and then I actually fell for Lawrence, and she was pregnant at the same time. And sadly, they planned that because her and her husband lived here, and we kind of went through our pregnancies together.
And she worked with you all
She
through?
worked with me.
So
She was
the two of you were
amazing.
just-
Well, she didn't actually work for me because we were kind of doing bits and pieces together. And then, of course, she had her baby, and I had mine. And then eventually, she went off
She go
back to the
back
Philippines. But the lovely thing is, we're still in contact now
Oh, you
after
know.
all these years.
That's great. And how did
Yeah.
her kids go?
She's got 3 now.
Do they all work
Yeah,
out
yeah,
okay?
it does. She's still married to the same guy.
Oh, wow.
They were just lovely,
That's great.
really, really
No,
lovely
that's really
people.
fantastic, yeah.
So that introduction, and the other thing, being and working in for CLP, we had a lot of expats living in the building that we were in. So I had lovely neighbours. So my neighbour next door to us, Linda and Roger, they had 2 boys. So she was very much helping me with, when I was going
there
through
was
the
a community
pregnancy.
kind of there to
Oh, it was
and they
amazing.
weren't
It was
too-
lovely.
Too bad. They weren't too snotty
Oh,
or had to go
God,
on with
nobody
them.
was. Nobody was at all.
Very easy. Very
Oh, they
easy.
were lovely, absolutely lovely. So I have to say, I although it took me some time to get used to Hong Kong, I think it was because I was trying to have all the things that I had at home.
What were you missing then? What
The
did you miss when you came here?
the sunbed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. What?
you asked. You
I
asked.
did.
Oh my God! No, I have to tell you this.
Sunbed?
I have to tell you
We're in
this.
Hong-
Sean actually shipped me out
You
sunbed.
must have been in love, that boy. I would have
Yes.
been shipping.
Luckily, we
sunbed
had 3
anywhere.
bedrooms. The 3rd bedroom had my sunbed.
So
in
you,
it.
Donald Trump, and the sunbed.
I loved it. I was
why?
so.
You've got sun here, even in the
Yes,
winter.
but think about it. When you've got.
Well, you don't do the whole body, I think, I suppose.
No,
outside.
it wasn't even that. Think about it. You first arrive, you're in an apartment. Where do you sit out?
Well, you said you had a balcony.
The balcony faced over a main road that also
All right.
faced over the tunnel.
Go for a run.
That-
Go up the peak.
Yeah, no, not that kind of
And
town.
you got
So-
pregnant pretty quick anyway, so
Not that quick, but basically it was because we needed to join a club.
right.
And we found the club, which was the USRC, which was the
Oh yeah, it's United Services and Club.
Recreation
It's a good
Club.
It's still
Absolutely,
going.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I went there. I'm a squash player and a tennis player, so I joined that, and kind of got the social,
Right.
thing going.
Roller coaster going.
Yeah, and so basically that didn't need the sunbed anymore.
No, but
So we ended up. Sadly, we couldn't sell it. We ended up having
funnily
to.
enough, no, but there was
having
a lot
to
of
dump
bidders.
it.
Weren't a lot of
I know,
bidders.
that was nearly all my shipping allowance, would you believe? But at the time, it was a big
Well, it's
thing.
important if that you felt comfortable and you kept your right
So
colour
yes,
that you required.
but once we joined the club and got into that, it was lovely, and it was just such an easy walk around the corner.
Was that where you were, just round the corner? from
Literally, we were. It was Science Museum Road, and the USRC was
Yeah.
Cox's Road,
there? Uh-huh.
and so that was a walk around. And then when I had Lawrence, it was great to take him
Well,
around
and you,
there.
you just did you work while you were here in these early days? Or
I did.
You
I worked for a place called the Gym, which burned down in the end.
Right,
Sadly,
so
I
you were
didn't burn
into
it down.
fitness even then.
Well,
it was a
yes,
fitness
I
thing, was
did
it?
more of the reception kind of side and trying to get people to join and
Right.
stuff like this, because then you got time to work out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't actually training at that time.
Right.
I mean, I'd literally just come out of, as I say, I was a research chemist at home, and then a microanalyst, which is exactly what it is. It
But
analyzes very, very small
Small things.
things. And then I became a microscopist, which was selling scanning electron microscopes and transmission electron microscopes
UK.
in the UK, working for a Japanese company.
Right, selling the.
I would have
equipment.
loved to have done that, and my Japanese company actually wanted me to do that. They were going to,
Yeah.
work out something for me to do in Hong Kong. Sadly, you sell to most people that would only be speaking in Cantonese.
Right.
And I, you know,
It never happened for you.
no,
the Cantonese
it didn't
one.
happen.
Right.
I could have had somebody come out and translate, but it was just a bit too difficult.
Yes.
So basically, I thought, well, I've got to find something else to do. But until I did the sports thing, and it was all to do also with the relocation, because Sean arriving and having nobody to meet him, not knowing where to go, not knowing, you know, anyone to, you know, nobody there to pick up. I thought, my God, I don't want anybody else doing this. So
Right.
I actually started a relocation company.
God, even back then.
Yeah. So I
That's
met
become
up.
huge, though, that bit kind of
Absolutely.
business,
Well, it's funny because we sold our company. I can't remember what. Well, actually, we was called Orientation, but it was a kind of play on words, orientation.
Okay.
That's very,
Very
clever.
good.
Thank
That's
you,
very
darling. Thank you. Thank you. But funny enough, Sean's taken it over now because he uses that
Right.
in
Use
his
the
company,
name,
so
does
it's
it?
not wasted. But yeah, so I met an Australian lady and Yvonne Moorhead, whose son actually does John Moorhead. He does the Comedy Store here,
Oh,
Comedy
really?
Club.
Okay.
Yeah, he
No,
yeah.
I know the other guy, I know the Chinese American guy that does the comedy club, because there's the comedy store and there's the comedy club.
That's right. John used to work for Star TV,
Right.
original Star TV, and he was I don't know, he used to introduce stuff, but he was quite well known here in Hong Kong. And I just happened to meet Yvonne through a charity that we both worked for, which was Hans Christian Andersen.
What,
So,
what does that do, Dan?
We actually, what it was, it's for children based in Hong Kong. And what we used to do is we used to collectively get money together and build what would be community places for them to go.
Okay.
Because most kids live, as you know, in
Yeah.
very small places.
So this is for local kids?
Absolutely,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, we did branch out into China, but we kind of thought, well, charity begins at home,
and there's
we
plenty
want
to do here.
absolutely.
They don't provide very much
No,
for their
no.
kids. At
So
here
we
at all.
did build these social, you know, networking places for the
That's-
kids.
Well, that was quite a big undertaking.
It
quite a
was,
good thing.
yeah,
Are
and-
they
and-
still going now, or?
Hans Andersen is, yes, it is. But it's, you know, it's not a mega charity, but it
But every charity makes
yeah,
a
yeah.
contribution
And then
somewhere.
Yvonne and I did the events side of things. So
What,
you know,
raising money and stuff like
yeah,
that.
and literally all the balls and
Okay.
and stuff like this, you know.
And so that's what you were doing to raise money, balls
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah, absolutely. So as I say, I met her, and then we decided to go into this business together. We met another lady, another English lady, that was a journalist, I think she was. But it ended up really being Yvonne and I that were kind of doing the running around. We, you know, visiting most companies and saying to them, you know, would you like us to take care of your relocations?
Yeah,
And
you guys.
it was really good because we also, we weren't at the time qualified to do the real estate. So basically we used to accompany the real estate agent with the
With your
client,
client.
and then we go around and do all the schools and stuff.
Yes,
So,
okay. And did you get paid from the real estate side as well, or was that?
no, we
No.
basically, we at that time, it's very difficult to do it now, but we had the client and we gave the client to the real estate
the real
agent.
estate.
But, you know, it's like everything else,
Yes,
it's
you've got to
negotiable.
sit there, being Hong Kong, it's got to go round.
Yeah. And we didn't, it wasn't as if we worked with people that only had a certain allowance. We were with a company that had several, you know,
Echelons of people. to
absolutely,
place,
because now you've got a lot of people that only deal with a certain level
yeah.
of clientele.
Well, there's loads of people doing that orientation and relocation. thing
Exactly,
now.
yeah.
Whereas before, I mean, when I arrived in 2000, well, I knew that there was nobody.
No,
doing this
and
kind of
that's the thing. I didn't want anyone to feel as uncomfortable as we felt
Right.
because I love Hong Kong and I knew that there was so much out there for people to do.
And especially when you're just arriving and the
Exactly.
wife or the husband, because there's a lot of husbands now that arrive with wives
Oh.
who've got high-powered jobs.
Yeah.
And if you can't fit in and they're twiddling their
And
thumbs
especially
going
for the
around-
likes of us who were basically not Hong Kong Islanders, we were, you know, Chim Sa Choi based.
Yes,
It was
there is a
very,
difference in that as
very,
well.
yeah. I mean, Hong Kong to me now, when I look around, it's so different. It's so very, very different. We, you know, you can easily just walk out and find stuff for yourself, whereas years ago,
It wasn't the same. And
No.
even before the handover, it wasn't.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't,
as
and it
far
wasn't
as
as if
shops and-
it wasn't as if it wasn't easy to find. It's just that, you know, a lot of people when they first come here, you
Yeah.
don't want somebody going to me, oh, yeah, Missy, come see Copy Watch, you know, and all this business. Whereas now you don't think
Yeah, you
about
don't. Well,
it.
you just go right past
You know, you
them.
just think, oh my God, he's an axe murderer, and I've just followed him down this corridor. But it was fun. It was
Yeah.
fun being able to get all this information together. I mean, I still use a
I'm
lot
sure.
of
I
this
mean,
stuff.
you make it a dossier at the time, did you? to get to-
Absolutely.
yeah,
So we had a kind of a moving in plan for each individual, and it kind of changed a lot. I mean, now you wouldn't think of actually taking people on public transport, but then nobody went on a tram, nobody went on a staff ferry.
It was all taxi.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody
So,
taxi.
you know, it was nice to be able to say, come on, this is easy. You know, the public light buses, transport here, public transport
Oh,
here
it's
is
phenomenal.
amazing.
It's
It is.
phenomenal.
It is. And to be able to just know where you're going to go
Yes,
and not
if
be
you can-
scared
if you
of
can get the
it.
connections and you're not scared, because you've got to learn a little bit of Cantonese to ride on the
That's it.
buses. But once you've got that,
Yeah.
Lido and Goy and Junjon.
Well, this is
you're
it.
fine.
This is it. And, you know, people don't understand those things. It's like tonight saying to you, you know, Big Ledo,
Yes.
nobody knows where we are. But everybody knows
Knows
that
Big Ledo.
address. The minute you get in the
So,
cab, they go, oh,
the
okay, I
cab
know where you
driver
are.
was expert tonight, no problem, right to the door. So
Yeah,
it's very-
yeah, well, that's right,
Yeah.
that's right. But it's nice to be able to know those little things,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And a lot of the mums that come here as well, you know, they've got the kids and they just think, oh my God, I've come from, you know, 3,000, especially in the States, you can imagine 3,000 square feet. And I'm taking them around like, you know,
living in the
18.
maid's quarters,
I
I was
know.
too, I was
And for the
too.
likes of us, you walk into these places and think, Jesus, this is amazing. Oh my God, you've got 2 toilets.
Awesome.
I know.
Yeah, they're going,
And of
"Oh,
course
no, I
they're
don't
saying
have
to
what
me, I
manage."
don't, you know. And the other thing too is nothing is decorated. So you're walking into these places
White walls.
and you have, no, but it's not even that. It's all looking the same as the person that moved out.
Right.
So you're bringing these people in that are new to Hong Kong and they're looking at you going, oh my God, it's terrible. I said, look, just imagine the floors are polished, the painted
You
walls.
should have started an interior design business while you were at it, actually. That would have
Well, it
been
was
a-
funny because, again, I worked with a
Right.
lady and we did that.
Yeah.
We kind of, you know, moved people in and then suggested a few
Yeah,
bits and
because
pieces.
it's a great way to get things
Oh,
started
yeah,
as
yeah.
well, especially with the
No,
girls.
that was wonderful. In fact, I've met a very good friend that, you know, is here through doing,
Right.
you know, that
That
interior
kind of stuff,
design.
Yeah.
Because she was running a company in Horizon Plaza at the time. So, of course, we did a lot of business with her, and yeah, it was good. But it is true, like you say, one thing kind of moves on to the next.
As long as just looking and open, one thing always flips on to
Exactly.
another, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, my first few years were here. I was into the fitness more for myself.
Right.
And it was only actually, and I think it's 10 years, 11 years ago, maybe more. I used to do a cardio kickboxing class at the cricket club. And the guy that ran it was a professional boxer, so he was my trainer. So I did a lot of boxing. I think it's fantastic. I really like that.
Right.
And he was moving on and leaving Hong Kong, and I think he was going off to live in Tenerife or somewhere. And it was him that turned around and said, you should be doing this.
When was this? How many years ago?
Well, I'm sure it's about 12 years ago now.
Right.
It must be something like that. And I'd been doing his class for a good 5 years
Before
before.
then.
And so I said, I just thought, oh my God, you know, standing up. Because you think about it, you're not only doing the choreography through a class, you're doing the music as well. So every single beat, everything you do is you know, down to timing.
Yeah, followed by
for-
the class as well.
Absolutely.
It's like a conductor in an orchestra.
So it was fine when you know, I was being taught. I thought, great, you know, I can stand there. And then when someone says to me, you should be doing this, I thought, oh my God. Well, don't laugh. It took me a year
No, I don't laugh.
to actually get the courage up to do all the exams.
Right.
the cricket club were amazing because they loved us group of ladies. They actually, would you believe, kept the class open on a Tuesday morning and a Thursday morning,
So you guys
just for
get
us lot to
yourself-
go around and get ourselves.
Get
And I
yourself
taught the
sorted,
class.
So you did.
I did.
Even
I
when you were
did
getting
the-
trained, so before
absolutely.
you were official, right? So
Absolutely.
Well, that's helpful in its own way.
And I
as
knew
well.
that I couldn't be paid or
Yeah.
or be
But
insured
you're doing the class.
basically until I'd done the qualification. So I did the qualification, and it just went from there.
And you did that in Hong Kong?
Yes,
obviously.
yes.
And is there a sports institute or something?
There's
you do
the first one I did was actually at the YW,
that? Right?
and then what I did, because I was qualified, you can actually go online,
Right.
and then you register yourself, and then each time you
And
can.
you can do, is it
It's
just written and
it's
questions?
questions,
rather than-
yes, but it's not a case of if you get it wrong, you can do it again in the next 20 minutes. You have to wait 6 months.
All right, so you've got
So
to
it's
do
a
a little
legit.
bit of work and,
Oh my
and
God,
pay
yeah,
attention.
absolutely.
Well, that's quite right, because it's
But
like,
it's good. It's good, and a lot of it is all to do with not just exercise. It's to do with muscle form and bone structure and nutrition and
well, I mean,
stuff
I
like
had,
that.
when I actually made some money, well, I had a personal trainer, Adam, and he taught me all about fascia and the fascia. and the muscle, and how it's all all
Absolutely.
your muscles grouped together, and how when
Yes.
you break it down,
Yeah.
which was fascinating. I didn't
Yeah.
know about that, and I didn't expect to simply. But there you go. It's all part of
That's
the
it is,
game,
it is, and
obviously.
it's interesting because a lot of people and a lot of people all come to me and they're saying, oh, I've got a bad knee or I've got this and this, and you can see some people that have had quite specific injuries or they've had
Can you
operations.
see by the way they move?
Yes, because they're compensating
Mm-hmm.
and they end up with the injury they're talking about on the other side.
Well, that's what happened to me. That's
Yeah.
from down here and here. It went up. Now it's down here.
Yeah.
So I've
It is,
spent
it's
the last 5 years
trying
being aware
to
of
get-
it, trying to be. But
That's
it's
right.
tough because once
It
your
is,
body's in that
and
way,
the other thing that people don't realise, it's balance. There are so many simple exercises
Right,
where
just-
you can work out, your absolute structure and how you balance the body. Because a lot of us, either lean to
shoulders
one
up,
side,
shoulders back,
shoulders.
head down to the side.
Yeah,
yes, of course.
yeah. So
And as you
it's
get older,
all
that
of
one
it.
gets worse until you end up
Well,
like a hunchback.
well, this is it.
So you've got to be.
And there's me,
on
I'm
it.
going to have to do all of this because having gone through what I've been through lately, my God, I went for a walk yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and
you
normally
feel-
I could have gone up steps and
Oh, yeah.
run up them.
But you'll be.
Oh my
Well, but
God!
that's because you've not been doing the exercise.
Well, I know exactly.
It's not-
but,
it's not
but
just the
no,
illness
no,
itself.
no, absolutely. But it's quite amazing how you take so long to get to a fitness level, and yet it's gone like
But
that.
also, once you get, I found once I got back into it years ago, when I trained after rugby for years, and I was puffing going up the steps in Hong Kong, and I'm thinking, I'm only 33 years old.
No, I know.
This is not good.
No, I
so I
know.
did something about it, and it didn't
Yeah.
actually take long for
No,
the
no,
muscle
no,
to
it
come back.
doesn't.
You've got to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
If you don't do it,
I find at the moment, I don't know, I just cannot do any form of exercise.
no.
I've been knocked out by the fact that knocked me out finding out I got cancer in the first
Yes.
place.
How did, and this is a quick question, but how did that feel? Because it's a question I've always often asked myself. You're sitting down, you're looking at the doctor, and he says,
Oh my God, I tell you, Jack,
did
it was
you do?
amazing because I was told all the way through, and this has seriously been, section upon section upon section. I went with what every woman has, or I should say most women have as they get older, which are fibroids.
right,
And I didn't know that this was a fibroid at the time. It just became a little bit uncomfortable. I basically was doing full-on exercise.
you were a professional
Absolutely. And I knew that there was something not quite
trainer,
right.
so your body wasn't working
No. It was really, really strange. Without going into
Okay,
too much
no,
detail,
okay.
there were certain things that were uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
which made me go along for a colonoscopy, which will give you an idea. The doctor turned around and said, absolutely nothing wrong, but on the scan, I can see there is a bulge coming through, which is what I believe to be a fibroid.
Right. And that's
So I
not
went-
unusual. for
No,
women,
it's not.
right.
I mean, it was a good size. It was the size, it was 10.5 centimetres. So it was a good size. So basically, I went back to the doctor and he gave me a few CT scans and an MRI. And basically, with cutting a long story short, they said, look, we feel that this is, you know, a problem, so we're going to recommend a total hysterectomy. Which, at the age I am, that didn't bother me at all. But what bothered me was, normally it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get over a hysterectomy operation. And being a, you know, teaching and being into fitness, I just thought, oh my God, I am not going to do this. This is just crazy. So I spoke to the doctor, and he was lovely actually, and he said, look, I'm telling you now, I give you 3-4 weeks, and then you'll be going back.
But just because of your conditioning.
Absolutely. So I went in and had the operation, and they took the lump out and decided that they were going to do the hysterectomy because basically they didn't want this happening again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, luckily, everything was okay. All the organs based around there were okay. Concentrating on the fibroid itself, they did a biopsy, and sadly, that's where the cancer was.
And was the whole fibroid cancerous? Or
No, it was sectioned.
Really?
And it was literally here
So
and here
if
and
if
here.
they'd taken a different section, they might have missed it. Or,
Well, no, because
or
they
how
took
was
it
done?
as a,
Is it-
I mean,
or it's
we
done
call it an
on the
orange. It was
Right.
basically taken away.
Okay.
And what had happened was had largely taken itself over and lodged itself into my pelvic bone, hence not being able to really feel it. It never bothered me.
Never moved. It just
Never moved.
it
I mean,
there, okay.
in kickboxing, you're doing,
Yeah,
you know,
your
moving
pelvis
around a
moving all the time.
fair amount. So anyway, I had this done. It was a shock knowing that these were, you know, cancerous, you know, tissue. So I was recouping, went to see the surgeon that was called in, and he turned around and said, look, you need to go for a PET scan. I don't know if you've heard of these things.
Not
what
really.
it is.
Well, everything talk
It's-
about the MRIs and PET, I don't know the difference.
Well, this is what it is. It's basically more or less the same as an MRI. So you go into what is like a tunnel,
tube,
into a
right.
tube, but you have to stay still for 45 minutes, and you're injected with a sugar radioactive dye.
This fires round.
It doesn't. What it does, it literally takes it scans your whole body, but it does it section by section. So the machine goes over you, and you lay, yeah. And what it does, it looks, because sugar added to the radioactive chemical just literally attacks anything that's living or alive.
Attacks it.
Well, it'll light up.
Attaches to it, right?
Yeah,
okay.
so it'll light up. So it
So
literally.
what does it light up?
So
Oh,
the
you-
brain, because the
right,
brain's working.
Yeah.
It will light up the
Lungs,
bladder.
liver, bladder,
Yeah.
yeah.
With the lungs, not so much, because you've not got, well, hopefully fluid and stuff in there.
Okay.
But it's stuff where blood is circulating.
Blood is circulating,
Yeah.
okay.
So what it did, it would light up the area of the operation, because that was still healing. So at the time, when he and the radiologist looked at the scan, they basically thought that it was healing.
Right. So if it had been healed, they might have spotted something.
Right.
You know.
Because the other thing that happened is this damn nodule that they found in the lung. Well, I've never been a smoker. You know, I've just... not even secondhand smoking. Nobody smoked in my family, so it wasn't as if I was around
Yeah.
something like that all the time. The only thing is, as you can hear with the wonderful voice, I'm prone to getting bronchitis and throat infections and stuff like this. Now, if you get a bad case, sometimes you can get a shadow, what they call a calcification on the
Really,
lung.
from bronchitis.
Yes.
Right.
So the doctor turned around and said to me, this could be anything. If we gave chemo to everybody that had a nodule on the lung, half of Hong Kong
Right.
would be on chemo now. So I was thinking, oh,
So it's all actually good news up until this point.
yes.
Right, okay.
So I'm thinking, okay, so I've got cancer, that's been cut out. The only problem was, as the doctor said, this is what they call blood born, so it carries. So whenever anything is taken away, you get blood circulating around the system. So I also decided that we may have to go down what was the cheaper route, which was the Queen Mary Basic Public Hospital here in Hong Kong, because we didn't have medical insurance.
Right, did you not?
No. I know, everyone turns around and says, why? But several things occurred. Sean was made redundant, and I'm afraid those are the first things that go. And, you know, up until that point, we were not a sickly family. I mean, my doctor, when I walked in that day, said, I haven't seen you in 18 months. So, you know, so again, to cut a long story short, it didn't work out with the Queen Mary. And I was just getting so upset about it all. We decided to actually go down the private route. And I had wonderful, wonderful staff and wonderful doctors at the Adventist, where I started radiotherapy. Very, very lucky again. I just didn't have any symptoms. I mean, for God's sake, it seems ridiculous. You see all these awful, awful things about this, you suffer from this, you suffer from this, and I had them on a piece of paper. Everyone said, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, and it hasn't happened yet. So finished that radiotherapy, the treatment right the way through. And my doctor said, well, look, we have to wait for a little while because, you know, there is a lot going on inside that you can't see.
And this was just cleaning the bit that they take.
Basically, it's zapping the space where the
space where you take
exactly, and killing those particles. So what happened is I went home this year, and I had the most wonderful summer. Wonderful, wonderful summer. Only to come back in September to find out that it spread. So the good news was the radiotherapy worked, but the bad news was it had carried in the blood. So it had actually gone to the lung and the liver, and it was could still be seen around the pelvic area. I did fall apart because you just basically, the stupid question is you just say, am I going to die? I don't know why I asked that.
That's the first thing that would go through my head, you know.
It's really weird actually, because I didn't so much fall apart as just thought, cure me, just do it, because basically the doctor turned around and said, chemo, we have to do chemo, and we got to start it now. And I say, well, when you say now, he says, now, you go away and you come back tomorrow, and that's it. So I didn't really have the time to think about it. I was told that 50% of people lose their hair and 50% don't. I was the 50% that did.
Yeah, I was under the impression that most people lost.
They do. But I think that there are the lucky people. Well, I don't know if they're lucky. This is the stupid thing. You want to not lose your hair, but when you've lost it, you think, oh my God, the chemo's working. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I tell you, that's the best way to go through life in every situation.
Oh my God, Jack, I can't explain it.
It's
because
positive thinking of the best kind.
Because when I know that it's difficult enough for guys, but when a woman loses her hair, this whole process, I have to say, is just a slap in the face and just a removal of your femininity.
Yes.
Because you don't look the same. You know, I mean,
well,
you can see me now because
hair, but
I know, and you see me. I wear my wig and I put my makeup on because that's me. I'm a complete vain person, but I like it that way. But it does, and there are times when, I was very brave. I shaved my own head.
Right.
Because I just thought, you know what, I don't want somebody else doing this, and then me getting up and looking and thinking, my God. Yeah. So I very bravely, our friend Paul was really good because he had one of those razor things, and came over, and he left it, and then he came back and said, okay, and I said, I've done it, and I kind of took the hat off.
Ta-da.
Yeah. And it's really funny because initially I was okay because I still had my eyelashes, Still have my eyebrows and
Do eyelashes and eyebrows go as well?
oh my God, they've gone.
Everything.
All this
Well,
darling is all
that's
it's all fake,
that's all
darling.
fake, but it looks wonderful.
All
You've done a great
fake,
job.
I know. I'm going to be a makeup artist after this.
If I lose it, I'm not getting anything. I'm going to look like.
Oh my God, I never was able to put false eyelashes on
Well,
until now, and I am an expert.
necessity
I've
is the
decided
mother
that even
of
when
all-
they come back,
Yeah.
I'm still going to
Yeah,
have my
they're
eyelashes.
the business. And eyebrows,
No,
actually.
eyebrows
until
are
you said, I wouldn't have
painters.
known. I wouldn't have
No.
really, but I'm a guy. How much attention do I pay? Exactly. You know?
But it's lovely because I like people saying to me, well, like when I wear my wig, and you've seen me in my
Yeah,
wig,
but you look-
I
it's
love
like-
it when
it's like-
people go, oh my God, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay, they're real hair wigs, and you pay for them.
Yes. Well, that's what
You know,
what
but
you
but
get.
I don't care. I want to be a little bit of
And
what
to
I.
be able to have it when you go out and to be able to put that on and
Exactly.
to live a normal existence, to take some power back.
That's
from
what it
yourself,
does
yeah.
because I'm not one of these drooping lilies. I'm not one of these, oh my God, you know, I've got cancer. I need you to be really gentle with me. I don't want that, Jack. It's not me. You know, I'm a bit worried about certain things, but that's only because of people looking at you in a different way or, you know, feeling sorry for you. I haven't ventured to the club yet.
No.
No, and I don't know why, really, because it's
So
silly.
your ladies that you class with?
They come here.
They come.
I've seen everyone,
Right.
and we go out, and I go out
Yeah,
to
so
other
it's okay, but you've
places.
never ventured
But
before.
what I call my domain and my environment, I don't know. I've not
I've got no
really.
comment, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's funny because when I've spoken to other people that have gone through the same thing, they had the same kind of emotional
About what? About the
attachment.
work?
But
About
no, it's not work.
No.
It's not work. It's actually just going there to have a meal and meet someone and have a cup of coffee. My friends are fine, but it's the actual people that work there because I'm also attached to those people.
Yes.
I get so close to the people that you know work in these places, whether they're on reception or they work in the restaurant. I like that
And then
kind of
if they give you
attachment.
sympathy, that's
Yeah,
how do you deal with that?
that's right.
Yeah.
And I know one of them was very emotional.
Yeah.
The guys went up and they were talking to them and ordering food and stuff, and they were asking how I was, and one of the girls got very tearful.
Yes, and that's
So,
how do you handle that? How do you deal with that?
Well, this is it.
That's-
You
that's
know,
the question,
I
isn't it?
want them to know I'm okay. I want them to know that it's, you know, it. Yes, it's. I will never say that chemo is an easy thing to go through, but at the end of the day, you can get through it. That's the point. You know, it's not. It's not so. For me,
Yes.
it wasn't as bad as I thought
No,
it was going to
as
be.
it maybe could have been and will
Well,
be
oh
for
my
other people,
God!
yes.
You know, I think had I been sick,
Mm.
that would have made a lot of difference. I don't like being unfit. I'm not very good at the fact that, you know, I look at everybody else and I go up to the clinic and there's all these people that look so ill and
Yes.
everything, and I put on weight
Get
and
me
I
out of
think,
here. It's
oh
just
my
pulling me down, man.
God.
You're all these sick people.
I
Yes.
know. How can I be the chemo one that's
You're
put
all
on
sick people.
weight? Jeez. But
Yeah.
but you know, it's and it's amazing how this kind of journey has. Oh, I've got the most amazing friends.
Did
You know,
they-
if
everybody come up trumps for
oh
you?
my God, if you know, I was saying just today, if just love and support were a cure, I would have been
Right.
cured a long time ago. Because you really know who your friends are
So, I mean,
when
it's-
you go through stuff like
It's
this.
enriched your life.
It has.
Something you wouldn't want to experience, but
No.
on the other hand,
And the amazing thing is, I've been through this. Not me, of course, but there were 3 friends who I think you've met. My friend Kathy.
I have. I actually don't remember exactly, but yes, and that's the question I was going to come back to. You said you got a lot of support from people that had experienced
Well,
the same thing. So yeah, you
Kathy-
basically got in the story.
The amazing thing is for me is Kathy went through this last year.
Right. Well,
So-
is it as recent as that?
Oh Lord, yes, we went through this together. So I went to every chemo session
Was
with
her?
her. Yep.
Okay.
And I went through the operation. So every day she was in hospital. We did all the chemo together and the radiotherapy together. And so I know this is going to sound ridiculous, But that side of things wasn't so scary because I'd already done it.
And well, you'd seen that that's what
Exactly.
you had to do, and that it was a positive.
And she
experience.
is the most amazing and positive person you could ever meet, because she got through this. She'd got through it the same as as I'm going through now. But she has this unbelievably positive attitude to life.
And was she one of the girls that did the training with you, or how did
No,
you meet her?
no.
What's
Well,
her-
funny enough, we were in-laws,
Right. Okay.
and now we're outlaws
Alright.
because
That
the
happens.
guys aren't together anymore.
happens.
But we stayed best friends, and it was amazing because sadly, I became close to her through her cancer, which we never even knew that she had. She came and spent Christmas with us in the UK, had a frozen shoulder. Doctor was kind of a bit worried about this,
Really.
did a scan, and hey ho,
And where was her cancer?
breast cancer.
So where's this?
It's one of the things you get.
Really?
Yeah, one of the things you can actually get.
Just good to know.
For-
And
yeah, well-
hopefully, I won't have that particular one, but you know.
Well, no,
You know,
but seriously,
but,
it's
one of the things
it
to
is
look
one
out
of
for.
the things. And then the other thing, which is truly unbelievable, as I said, there were three of us. Kathy had breast cancer, and then Lisa and I were going through this. Was her friend. Lisa got skin cancer, and then I got this cancer, which actually nobody knows what it is because I'm one of the very lucky 1 in 5 million women to get it.
Right. I don't
And
know how
so
lucky
I'm
you feel about that.
basically
Okay.
a guinea pig at the
Right.
moment.
So there's no medical records or
No,
history or
no centre of excellence,
right.
no medical. All they do is basically go through the procedures that they would do for ovarian cancer, but it's not. We don't know whether it's a fibroid that travelled or whether it's a fibroid that actually grew where it grew, or whether it was a fibroid at all now, you know.
But it responds to the same treatment as the other.
Well, the most amazing thing is you know, I was going literally blind into this treatment, and so was the doctor. And I had a PET scan, which was I think 2 weeks ago, which I told you about, and it's just working amazingly. I mean, literally 50% and more of the cancer has gone, and the doctor himself didn't even think that it would be that good. And he's been very excited since, and you know that's been a boost for me.
And that was the halfway point. And
That was the halfway
So
point,
it's, and if you keep going with the same momentum, it's
hopefully.
okay.
And as I mentioned to you earlier, they do this what they call a low-level, low-key
Or
chemo.
maintenance chemo.
It's a
whatever.
maintenance. Basically, I'll be able to grow my hair again. It won't affect that. It won't affect me going back into doing exercise. But it just is going to make sure that if anything is there, it's not travelling into something else and starting up, you know, another
Right.
tumour elsewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you always, you know, going to have to keep an eye on things. It's going to be something
It's
that's
one of
going
those
to.
things, isn't it?
It
that
is.
will-
It is. But it just amazes me. And the one thing, if I, you know, I'm not going to preach, but if I can ever reiterate to anybody, is the fact that I was one person that just had test after test after test. I regularly had
Your regular
checkups.
checkup person.
Regular-
I've had a checkup for a decade.
regular
I'm
checkup
scared
person.
To, go, to be honest.
Well, the thing I think is good is the fact that I hopefully, you know, caught this in time. It's something, as I say, that is rare. But if I am going to be a guinea pig, at least now, anybody else that has the same kind of thing, they've got the research, they've got the results, they've got the technology, they've got the
There
you know,
go.
procedure.
Yes, you have led the way
Absolutely,
in this particular
absolutely.
thing. Yeah.
I don't know necessarily if everyone will go through the same thing as I have. I mean, yes, as this has progressed, the doctors actually told me that cumulatively the discomfort, you know, it does get worse.
Right.
And recently I've just got this blooming, you know, infection and this stupid voice, but I'm coming out of that. But previously, I would go a couple of days, and those would be my bad days. I'd lose sense of taste, so eating wasn't very exciting.
Right.
But I can cope with that.
Yes.
I haven't got my head down a toilet every 5
No,
minutes.
that's right. Exactly.
And really, it that I can just go to bed for the day, shut everything
And
off.
you can sleep, and
You can
have
sleep.
a doze. You're not feeling nauseous. and
Absolutely. I mean, I've
uncomfortable.
watched every TV series there is possible. Every movie I've downloaded.
Have you watched True Detectives?
I've watched them both.
Oh, yeah. I've not seen the one with Colin Farrell yet. But I just
Yes,
thought it was brilliant. I thought it was very
I
good
know I
with
love
Matthew
that, but I
McConaughey.
caught the other thing I love are my 1960s black and white movies. Love them.
What? Give me some.
Love them. There's Kind of Loving.
Okay. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, which was Jolie Richardson. It was her father who was the director.
Right. Yes, well, I know the Richardson sisters.
Yes,
and her dad was director. Okay.
yeah, he was the director of the movie. Another one, A Taste of Honey. That was oh God, you know what? You're going to catch me now with actors and actresses. She was in. The only thing I can remember her in was one that was it called Bread?
British
Years ago.
actress.
Yes.
I remember Brett.
See,
I can't
this is
remember what her
when
name was. Doesn't
she
matter.
was. Yeah, I need a book now, don't I? Yeah.
But the 60s,
But
not
they're
the
all-
50s. The 60s.
No, these were all filmed in the 60s. But it was 60s life. The one of my favourites was Saturday Night, Sunday Morning.
Yes.
That's
Or-
oh my God, that is just one of my favourite.
The Michael Caine movies. I can't remember one. But
Alfie.
About the Alfie, things like that. Yes.
Now Alfie is another one.
Yeah.
So it's those things that I love to
Okay.
watch. Well, they're like rainy day Sunday
Absolutely.
kind of
You're catching up.
movies.
You
But you don't have to think about them too much. There's a lot of movies out now that you have to think too much. And I tell you, days like that, I don't want to think.
You don't be thinking too much. You want to disengage.
Oh
the
my
brain.
God, yeah, absolutely. So yes, but I've as I say, the treatment goes on. I'm going again tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then the following week, and then my final session, hopefully, is on the 8th of February.
So you finish
So
there. 8th of
that's-
February. Hopefully
yeah.
that's the big
That'll be
chemo sign.
exactly, and then I have the PET scan after that, and then they'll know,
Go
from
from there.
from the results of the PET scan.
Start again. And do what you
Exactly.
need to do and
And then basically it's just, for me, it's getting back into exercise. I mean, I've been terrible. I know this is a ridiculous thing, but the nurses just think I'm hilarious every time I go and be weighed. If I haven't put any weight on, it's a good week. But the trouble is,
in
the
that,
doctor...
yes, in that case, it's absolutely the opposite.
Yes, but you see, the doctor keeps saying to me, "No, I want you to keep this weight because this is what you
Yeah,
need
you're busy
to."
trying to lose weight.
So my God, when
No,
these chemicals are
no.
out of my system,
Yeah.
this body is going to be back on track.
Yeah, back on track. Get that good food down you
And
again.
exactly.
and working
I
it
mean,
out.
I know that I'll be wearing my wigs for a while. I mean, that's
What
But
do
I
you
might
mean,
have
once it
this,
comes back, it
might
can
this
be short and
trendy
spiky.
little,
Yeah.
trendy
Cool.
little. And then I won't have your hair's thicker than mine, love.
Well, I know, but yours will grow back. Mine is gone forever.
Oh, really?
Well, I've got it down the sides, but in the middle, no, it's
But it suits you because you've got such small features.
small features, round head.
But it does
That's
suit
good.
you.
I'm glad. You were talking about guys getting worried about it. I didn't lose it till I was 40, so I was well done there. But I did have a magnificent head of hair, and unfortunately it's gone. But it didn't bother me
it's
particularly.
amazing how it nobody would look at you and go, "Oh God,
No, I
poor
feel
guy."
sorry for that guy.
Yeah, because
it's not
it
bad.
does suit you.
I'm quite
But you
lucky
get a
with that.
woman. You know,
well,
my
poor woman. Unless you
God.
choose to do a Grace Jones to yourself, then
Well, it's funny
not.
because I tried. I did try the other
Right.
day to do the full makeup
Mm-hmm.
and the lipstick, and I had to do the tan a bit because it's a
Uh-huh.
bit white. So I did the tan a bit, and I looked at it and I thought, no,
Not working for you.
working for
No,
me.
you weren't working that one on the stage.
No.
That's fine, as long
No.
as you know. That's better, isn't it?
Well,
To
yeah,
try and know.
exactly. But some people kept saying to me, "Oh my God, there was a British Airways hostess." I mean, she must
Did
have
she
been
did the
good.
same? Right,
She did
okay.
the same thing, and my friend said, "Oh, she was amazing," and I
Right.
said, "Well, good on her because
Yeah,
it
good on her.
ain't for
The
me."
shot's pretty good too, but it's not working for
Oh
you.
no, it's not that I haven't got a small head. because it was amazing. Things that you learn. I bought my wigs online.
Right.
So, of course, they say to you, do you have a small, an average, or a large head? And I thought, it's average.
Right.
Got to be average.
And
But it was small.
small.
So, of course, I have to really pull the back of these
Did you
damn
not
wigs.
go to a wig place here and just get one fitted so you knew?
Well,
And
no.
then you can order
Wow, do you know
online.
what? If I'd have gone, that was another thing. If I'd have gone to a proper wig place here, I would have paid 16,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's the cheapest wig.
Okay, right, okay. I'll make you a wig.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I bought one online. The most expensive one I think was about $2,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a big difference. It's huge.
Seriously.
I would have just got measured up and then not gone back.
Well, I did it. The last one I bought a small one, but I think I realised they're all pretty damn large because even the small one doesn't fit very
Right,
well.
exactly.
But my hairdresser has been amazing
Okay.
because what I do, I take the wigs, he cuts them and shapes them to the hairstyle that I
you
had,
had.
and then colours them the same.
That's good.
So I don't
He's
base. I
working
don't.
with- everybody's working with
Oh
you.
my God, he's just been amazing. You know, he really has, and it has made a difference because you know yourself. You've been to a fancy dress party. You put some of these damn wigs on. You think it looks like a wig, but it's
Yeah,
okay. It's a
exactly.
party.
Yeah, yeah.
I do not want to go out every
No,
day
not
with
if you're
people
not just
going.
trying to look normal.
Exactly. Although the guard downstairs thinks it's hilarious that
Okay.
one day I've got this lovely
Uh-huh.
long
The
locks.
next minute you're-
The next minute I've got this little bulb going on.
Whatever works. Lady
That's right.
Gaga.
Well, that's right.
What's
You know what? I decided that I was going to recreate myself when I had this.
There's
That's
nothing
what-
wrong with that. It's
no.
not bad, and you're in the best place to do
Exactly. And
in
I
Hong
thought,
Kong.
I don't care. I can be who I want. If I want to be the short bob, then I'm going to be. Or the long hair, as I normally am. So nobody actually notices that. But it's quite fun.
So, Cam, one nugget of advice if you could give to somebody now that lived how you've lived and having to deal with what you're dealing with now.
Oh, I tell
what's
you.
the one thing before we go that you'd tell them to
The
go with?
plan ahead. Plan ahead. I think I
When
mentioned
you know
earlier.
you get it or before you
When
get
you've got it,
Right.
these are things that I know it's a terrible thing to say, but if you really have, a cancer that you know that's spread, and you know on the first instance, get online, get all your hats, get all your scarves, get all your wigs, because you get nothing in Hong Kong.
That is
Hong
the
Kong
terrible
is
thing
a,
if ever I heard one.
seriously.
When you get cancer, the first thing you do is get online
No,
and organise your
I am not joking. I am not joking. You know what? I am going
can't believe you
to.
said that.
I am going. No, because
I'm sitting here thinking.
it took 4 weeks for anything to arrive, and I lost my hair.
Well, you heard it here
after
first, people.
I lost my
You
hair
have
after
a-
12 days.
Don't worry about holidays. People, if you're
No,
ill,
no,
here,
no.
now,
Get
your
yourself
hats and
organised, because
scarves
do you know
organised.
what? You can't walk out otherwise. You can't walk out your
I'm
front
a guy.
door.
You take a hat on.
I
and
know,
so
but
got
you're
a
easy to
baseball
put a
hat.
hat
I'm bald
on.
already, so it makes no sense to me.
I'm gonna.
Mind
I
you,
tell you,
I'd lose
all
those
this,
eyebrows.
all my lovely things are going. I'm gonna clear them, take them to the Cancer Society, and hopefully they will
They'll
do
do something
good
else
for
good.
somebody else.
Karen Clown, thank you very much for your time. We will do the rest of your life another time. But for just now,
Thank you, my
very much
darling. It was a
indeed.
pleasure.